All right, so this is very interesting. Nneka Ogwumike has become the first player publicly revealed to have signed with the new women's basketball league, Project B. Project B plans to start next fall, 5-on-5, offer more money and equity in the league. It will run through April, so it doesn't compete with the WNBA yet. However, it stands to reason they have bigger plans afoot, considering they've got big time investors, Candace Parker amongst them, and they're partnered with the Saudi Public Investment Fund. And we know how deep the bags go there. For the WNBA Players Association president to be the first player to sign with this league in the midst of CBA negotiations has officially put it on the radar. Why does that matter? I mean, several reasons, obviously. Nneka is at the head of the table for the WNBA in these negotiations for the players. She said in the Associated Press article announcing this move that, the equity was a big, important factor for her because women generally aren't offered that in sports, right? So that's a big deal. She's a former MVP as well. So not only is she a figurehead for the players, she is someone with established credibility, right? So it's not just her position; it's the fact that she's a real player going over there, still a top player in the league. And then there is the negotiating aspect of it, considering the CBA negotiations have been heated. What has been a big sticking point? Revenue sharing, revenue sharing, revenue sharing. We keep hearing about Adam Silver doesn't want to share, blah 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 blah. Well, equity, what is that? That's basically the same thing, right? You're getting the money that the league makes, or you're a part, you're an owner of the revenue that comes in. That's something Unrivaled has offered. Then there's the Unrivaled wrinkle as well. Nafisa Collier blasts Kathy Engelbert, commissioner of the league. Why did that cause such a firestorm? Not just because of what she said, not just because she brought up Caitlin Clark, but also because she's a co-founder in Unrivaled. So there could be a conflict of interest there. Even if it's not technically a competing league, it is another women's basketball league. And the more, well, first of all, for Fee and Stewie and anybody who has that level, they aren't going to negotiate anything that hurts Unrivaled. So that's where the conflict of interest thing came in. And then the more options there are that pay a lot, because Project B supposedly pays obviously more than the WNBA. That's hard. Same thing as Unrivaled. The more leverage for the players in that sense, where they can say, we don't need the WNBA because we can make our money here, or we can make our money there. On the flip side of that, the more money that the WNBA offers in these negotiations, the less likely or the less inclined they may be to allow participation in off-season leagues. Because really, allowing participation in off-season leagues is a tacit admission that you're not paying enough. Otherwise, why would you allow that to happen with your commodities, which are the players, right? There is no league without the players. But it doesn't appear that Project B has small dreams. They're trying to carve into the women's basketball space because it's growing. This league was founded by some people who know what they're doing as far as, tech investment and the like. Skype co-founder, former Facebook executive. They're the people behind Project B. Then they've got the investors like Candace Parker, Novak Djokovic, Sloane Stevens, Steve Young has been listed as an investor, and who knows where they want to go. If you recall, this was the thing that started with like Maverick Carter, who's not a part of it anymore, but you can see some of the names there that I just mentioned in regards to that. And they plan to play 5-on-5, fielding 6 teams of 11. So that would be 66 players. Not to mention, apparently, they already have other players signed up. Alana Beard is the chief basketball officer. She's a former WNBA player, says that more top players have already committed, though we don't have any other names disclosed. Anyhow, it just gets very interesting, right? Because Nneka is the authority figure from the players' side of things. For her to sign off on this is pretty big. And look, the Players Association just posted this. This is Nneka sharing this, and the Players Association puts this out for the public to see. Nneka OG, a new chapter built on purpose, partnership, and possibility, Project B. That is a shot across the bow of the WNBA. No matter how you want to spin it, yeah, there have been off-season leagues in the past. Yeah, there have been options in the past. But this is something that has a chance to become a full-fledged competitor. It obviously, there's the Saudi aspect of it, and they're trying to distance themselves from the Saudi funding because I saw Doug Feinberg, who does a great job for the AP covering all this stuff. He had the original article. I saw him post that they're not technically funded by whatever it seems like semantics to me because they are in partnership with a Saudi company. They are in partnership with what's the name of the company is Sela, an entertainment company owned by the Saudi Public Investment Fund. So you can spin that however you want. That means there is Saudi investment some way, shape, or form. And we know, how Live Golf turned out. We know what they've tried to do in other realms of sport. So I think the potential for a lockout just got higher again. I think the players, they take a very combative tone at times. I mean, look, using your leverage, in a sense, it's a flex to say we don't need the WNBA. But really what this does do is legitimize Project B. And yeah, I mean, there's really no other way to put it. It legitimizes Project B. And now we'll see where we go from here. We'll see if this is a blip on the radar. But what seemed like an idea, and I was even skeptical before, is now seeming like something that's actually going to come to realization or fruition. Now, is it just another offseason league? I mean, Athletes Unlimited, Unrivaled, overseas. It wouldn't be the first overseas league that has existed or had WNBA players participate in it. WNBA players have been going over to China or whatever forever. So it could be more of the same. But it feels a little different. It feels a little different. And for the Players Association president to be the first one to publicly sign the dotted line feels almost like a message, even if it's not intended that way. Certainly is going to come across that way. And this league is now on the radar of the WNBA and has now added another wrinkle. Who else they get, we will see. We know the names, the dream names that get floated out there. Obviously, Caitlin Clark, where that's just rampant speculation. Asia Wilson, whoever else, the players that aren't in Unrivaled, Sabrina Ionescu, Angel Reese isn't in Unrivaled. The players that aren't in Unrivaled are the players who don't need the offseason leagues, to be quite honest with you. That's the way it works. But yeah, the speculation is just going to pick up as a result of this move from